Okay, welcome to our lesson on height. Okay, height and slope. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so yes, we're going to learn about how we identify height and slope and the shape of a slope on a map. Okay, first, a couple of things. All right, so firstly, we identify high points by the use of what we call spot heights. That's these here. Okay, a spot height. And it's indicated by a dot and a number after it. And what that indicates is the number of meters above sea level that the mountaintop is. So that 145 meters. And you can see that when we look at this diagram here, that we have a high point here, but we'll learn more about that in a moment, where this little laser pointer is pointing to. So that's spot heights, and we should look for these on maps. The other one we've got here is the trig point. Okay, this one here. And the number here is 123 meters. Now, trig points are major spot heights, which are used as control points in surveying. So, for example, if you're going to put a tower, a telecom tower, on a higher peak, you would put it at one of these trig locations. When you're actually at location, often you'll see a pile of rocks, and that's people who have visited the spot. They've actually started to pile rocks, and we call them trig points. Okay, so that's the two main ways that we identify the high point on a map. Okay, just rub all that out. And anyway, that'll do. It's got near enough's good enough for this. Okay, the third point that I want to talk about is contour lines. These are usually brown lines on a map. In this case, they're black, but brown lines that join places of equal height above sea level. Now, they also tell us the height of the land at different points, and they can also give you valuable information about the shape of the land or a particular kind of landform. So looking at our image here, I'm just going to draw on this a little bit. And you can see here that I'll start with this point here, this label that says 2 points on the same contour line will have the same height. So basically everywhere along this line is equal height above sea level. Now notice we crossed this mark here of 120 meters. Okay, that's what that stands for, 120 meters. Everywhere along this line, as we track along here, is 120 meters above sea level. So if we were to walk in a direction that was neither up or down, okay, we would make this circle in this case all the way around. Okay, so this one was 120. This one here you'll see reads 140. That's 140 meters. And you can see that we've gone from 120 up to 140. So we've gone uphill. So everywhere along this point here is 140 meters above sea level. This one here, 160. Everywhere here is 160 meters. And this last one here is 180 meters, okay, around here. So you can see that if we were walking in this direction, we go 120, 140, 160, 180. If we keep walking in that direction, we cross back below the 180 line, then across the 160 line, then across the 140 line, and finally the 120 line. So we've walked uphill, 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 and then downhill, downhill, downhill. Okay. A contour line joins points of equal height above sea level. All right, that's what they do. Now we refer to the contour interval. This is the difference in height between each of the lines. So we've gone from 120 to 140 to 160 to 180. And you'll notice that we are going up in 20 meter intervals. So 120, 140, 160, 180. All right. The contour interval is usually given somewhere on the map. If it's not, you can work it out simply by finding a few contour lines and working out the difference in height between them. The numbers tell us the height along the line in meters. It is always in meters for Australian maps. Can be in miles or feet for American maps. So that's contour lines. Now, therefore, if we're walking along, let's say, for example, we're walking along the 140 line here, that would indicate that the contour lines can never cross. Okay, it's just simply not possible. So where contour lines do meet, this indicates a cliff. So that would indicate when these lines are very close together. All right, the closer they are, the steeper. Okay, the steeper. Whoopsie, the steep. That's an E, everyone. The steeper they are. Okay. The further apart they are, the broader they are. The gentler the slope, if you like. Okay, that's contour lines. We show these on maps, and you'll do an activity soon in which you will need to interpret contour lines. Okay, that's the lesson for today.